Welcome to A Chat with Heart. I'm your host, Christina Martin. I'm a singer-songwriter. I live on a dirt road with my best friend Dale in rural Nova Scotia, Canada. A Chat with Heart is just me having chill conversations with people I want to celebrate and topics that I'm curious about. If you have a question or a comment for this podcast, call my Heartbeat hotline, 1-902-669-4769. To send this podcast even more love, visit me online at patreon.com/Christina Martin. I'm so happy you're listening. Our personal stories have great power to heal, influence, and inspire. All we have to do is show up for the conversation. If we just talk about it, we could shine a light, we could break a dark day. If we just talk about it, we can cut away, we can make a brighter day. Hello. I am happy to be here with you. What's wrong with me? What an odd way to start a podcast episode. Sometimes I don't know how to start, you know? Just gotta dive in. I did have a great weekend I wanted to share. My friends Stephanie Purcell and Krista Keogh, both these women were guests on my podcast, and I love them so much. So Stephanie rents a cottage every year in Hubbards, Nova Scotia, and she invited us to go and hang out. And now I don't think I've had a overnight apart from at my mom's, like with girlfriends in it's been a long time. I think the last time was with my friend France and Julie here in our home. So much fun, but it's been a long time. And I don't think I'd done a sleepover with Stephanie and Krista. We had so much fun, y'all. Like, honestly, if you can get away with some friends, even though you might have a lot of work to do, and, you know, I mean, I see other people making time for overnights and friends and all that, and I just don't get to do it that often, or I just don't do it, maybe. It was so much fun. It was perfect. And we played charades. I learned how to play cribbage. We laughed a lot. Got to hang out on the beach in Hubbards. It was beautiful. We played Match Madness. We microdosed mushrooms. It was the most pleasant experience. And probably we did a lot of other things too. Like we ate lots of good food, had some good sleeps, played with the kitty cats. Stephanie had her cats with her. Met some fun people in the trailer park. It was awesome. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. Well, my little heartbeat listeners, if you like jokes, you are in for a treat. This episode, my guest, we chat about chips, humans with tails, making time for doing the things you love, dreams that come true and new dreams, songwriting and collaborations. Yeah, let's get right to it. This was really fun because I had never really spent time, and I still have to, in person, but like in a one-on-one chat, and with my guest today, Lisa MacIsaac, hailing from Craignish, Cape Breton, is one half of the acclaimed duo Madison Violet, alongside Brenly McEachern. I hope I pronounced, Brenly, your last name right. Is it McEachern? I hope so, but feel free to correct me. So this incredible duo, they're known for their stunning harmonies and a very distinctive sound. And they've released 11 albums, including their self-produced 11 in 2022. They are a multi-award winning and Juno nominated pair They won the prestigious Song of the Year award at the John Lennon Songwriting Contest in 2010 for their song, The Ransom. Now, recently, Lisa, who's a multi-instrumentalist, has also channeled her passion for music into curating and hosting a songwriters circle called Small of My Heart, where she gets to inspire and collaborate with fellow musicians. And I'm super, super fucking pumped because she's invited me to join Small of My Heart songwriters circle. And I'll be joining her and Mo Kenny on August 28th in Pictou. Tickets are at christinamartin.net. And I really hope you can make it. I'm so excited to share the stage with Mo Kenny and Lisa MacIsaac. I mean, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. And this chat was so much fun. I really dig Lisa, and I hope we get to like hang out someday together somewhere in person. Well, we will on August 28th, if I didn't make that clear. Okay, so sit back and relax and enjoy my chat with this incredibly talented and lovely human, Lisa MacIsaac. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Are you ready for some jokes?
I could use some, yeah.
Are you having a rough day?
There's been a couple of days of roughness, but it's all good. That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. You mean on my podcast, A Chat with Heart?
Yeah.
That's right. And for any listeners who need to book a session just to have a break, call me. Call me if you need me. I actually do have a heartbeat chat line, like a phone people can call.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's nice, but you know what? It's not used a lot because I don't know if you know this, but people don't want to call anyone anymore.
It's funny. I'm actually a caller. I prefer, like, so many people are on text and WhatsApp, and I like the sound of somebody's voice, and I feel like there's a lot less misinterpreted as well.
Oh, 100%. That's why I love sending voice messages and over text and in the DMs and Instagram and Facebook. I'm just like, if I can send an audio message, I just feel so much better.
You're one of those people. Yeah.
I know. Yep. And long messages too. Long ones. Yeah. Okay. So I've got some jokes. I have mixed feelings about AI, but I used it for two things today. I've been using it for my goodbye messages, which will be at the end of this podcast, because I think it's hilarious sometimes what AI comes up with. And then I asked it, because I was short on time, to just pull some jokes, because I didn't have time to look up jokes. And I was like, okay, some of them were inappropriate. And I don't mean you can swear here, you could say whatever you want, but I was like, that's not funny. That could hurt someone's feelings, kind of jokes.
Okay. You can say those off the podcast if you want, but you don't need to if they're harmful.
That's right. Now, these are not harmful, but they may not be funny. But I thought they were cute. Okay. Hey, Lisa, why don't scientists trust atoms anymore?
Why?
Because they make up everything.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
I wish I had a laughy cherry button right now that I could hit.
Maybe Dale could work that in.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Hey Lisa, I told my computer I needed a break, and now it won't stop sending me Kit Kat ads.
You know what's funny? Since you said I need a break, I immediately went to Kit Kat.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, so maybe my brain works like ridiculous AI.
Do you eat Kit Kats?
I have one in my freezer right now.
In your freezer? That sounds like a delightful snack.
Yeah, you got to keep your chocolate bars and your chips in the freezer.
In the freezer. Your chips?
Oh, 100%.
I've never heard of that. I'm trying to quit chips.
Why?
It's a bit of an issue for me. have an issue. I'm just, I once I get going, I don't know when to stop. And then I really feel like garbage after. Like,
Oh yeah, you feel terrible, but in that moment, it's pure joy.
I know it is. When I save my chip binge for is end of a tour, end of like a big show. I do give myself like, I'm like, just whatever you want, just go for it. But yeah,
Chips are very dangerous in the tour van.
yeah.
And once you get started, it's sort of, it is very difficult to stop. And I just did a tour and we managed to go a good week or week and like maybe 8 days into it without having a chip. And fans were actually bringing us gift bags with snacks and chips and stuff. And then once we got into it, it was like, you don't eat one bag at a time either.
No.
You open like 4 of them so that you can just taste all the different German chips.
Oh, taste. I would just devour them all. Oh, and after the show, it's the worst. I mean, the best, but the worst. That's the danger zone right there. In any case, it's not about me being, it's not about what it does to my body or like what visibly or anything. It's just like I feel like a train hit me after the next day. I don't like feeling bad,
Yeah. No chips for you.
No chips. Another joke?
Please, always.
I mean, while I've got you, I know nothing about you. This entire episode is just going to be me reading you jokes, and that's
great. I love it.
Okay. Lisa, I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
Oh boy. I call these gym teacher jokes because my old gym teacher used to come up with these kind of quick one-liners. Mr. MacIsaac was his name, actually. No
Mr.
relation.
MacIsaac. Oh, yeah. Wow. I bet there's a lot of no relations, but relations where you're from. Cape Breton, right?
Yeah. You kind of have to move away to like date or have a family, I think. Otherwise, you're going to end up with, somebody with an extra limb and a tail,
Gotcha. You know what? Speaking of tails, we think that I had a tail. And I'm sure I've mentioned this on the podcast before. There's a scar on my backside. My mom has a story. We just don't believe the story. So I think I might be a MacIsaac, is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying the MacIsaacs have tails. I'm saying that you have to move away so that you don't find yourself in that gene pool.
Nice. So, and you're in Toronto now.
Yeah, I've been here since 1999. So I've actually been living here longer than I did back in Cape Breton.
Wow. Okay. So
25 years.
Do you find that when people say, where are you from? Now you're at that age where you're like, well, geez, I actually am from there, but I've been here longer than from over there. So am I from here? Are you from,
I mean, when people ask me, I say I live in Toronto. I grew up on the East Coast, but I live in Toronto just because this is my home.
Yeah. Is that your home? Like you're in your home right now? This is a room in your home?
It is. Yeah. Yeah. A condo in southwest downtown.
Ooh, downtown. That's fancy. I like that.
Downtown.
I like downtown Toronto. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. My brother used to live there, and it was always exciting taking the train or flying into Toronto and just going out to dance and try different drugs. I'm being honest.
There's something about after being away for a while, and then if you fly in at nighttime and then drive to the city, there's just it always makes my heart swell. There's something. I love city lights. I love seeing the skyline lit up, and yeah, it's definitely my home. And but I do get that feeling pulling into. I remember many years ago on a songwriting trip and going to Las Vegas for the first time. And driving in at nighttime, and I felt like I was like coming around a bend and up over a hill, and then it was just there, and it was just like yeah, city lights, they I love the forest and the water, but I also like the lights in the city.
Did you write a song with those lyrics? Like that was all just very I want to hear that song, what you just described.
Well, if I can get my ass in gear, maybe I'll get one.
I think you can. I think you can. Making time, well, I'm going to jump right to it. Making time, though, that's something I really struggle with. I'm actually doing The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron right now, which I did over 20 years ago, but it's sort of like a recovery for creativity. It's like, how can I make this a priority? Because I've become so programmed to just do my business stuff and plan, and like, I like that stuff. I'm good at it. Excuse me. But what about songwriting? This is the thing that brings me the most joy. What's your deal? What's your struggle with that? Or do you?
100% do. And because I've been on stage since I was like 9 years old, and have been doing this professionally since, I was 18. And I'm finding the older I get, it's definitely, I'm finding there's some guilt sometimes when I actually allow myself to be creative. And it's like I should be doing something else, because I'm booking this concert series. I'm constantly staring at my screen, and I'm emailing people, and I'm on the phone, and I'm designing stuff, and then I realize I've gone days and days and days, and the only reason why all this is happening is because I play music.
Yes. Oh, good point.
And it's the thing that's struggling most. It's trying to find that, it's not a work-life balance. It's a work-work balance. And and as much as being creative, isn't necessarily work, you do have to put an effort into it to, use that muscle, continue working that muscle. And yeah, it's been a struggle for me as of late, and I need to figure out how to allow myself to carve out that time. Because it's what makes me tick. And when I'm not writing or recording, it puts me in a strange headspace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I've let myself not do my like morning journaling, which usually sparks something. But anyway, I skipped it for a long time, and I kind of adopted this mentality that, okay, it's okay that I'm a seasonal writer, that I have these chunks of time where I'm, but I can't deny that I feel different. I find it harder to get back into it when I leave it for months, sometimes weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And my life feels more complete, more wholesome, whole, when I just feel healthier when I make it a bigger part of my day or my week,
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, let's talk about this. How are you going to do this? Because what's worked in the past? Locking yourself in a dungeon?
Originally in Madison Violet, we've got 11 albums out, and we've always written those together. And Brenly lived downtown in Toronto, so we would just either meet up at each other's place or go away and write for a chunk of time, and specifically have the goal of usually being, someplace near water or someplace inspiring, and then just carve out a chunk of time to write. Mm-hmm. She's living an hour out of the city, and we've both been sort of writing and creating on our own for the last while. We've taken most of this year off. And now I'm trying to remember what the question was. How
are you going to get back to the thing? How are you going to make it more of your life so that I'm gonna claim that you're miserable, but you're probably not. Let's get you out of that misery. No, but how are you going to make it a bigger part of your life? I'm now your doctor.
It's funny because, and this sounds silly, I actually do well when I have like either sticky notes or a whiteboard with a list that I see, and I actually need reminders. I have constant alarms going off on my phone to do X, Y, and Z, but I'm a visual person, so maybe I'm gonna have to take out that whiteboard and stick it on my desk or by my coffee machine so that it reminds me in the morning that I need to do this. I need to do it for myself because it's cathartic. There's a cleansing process. You need to get out. You need to get the shitty lyrics out or messages or whatever to get to the good ones anyway. So, I'm going to have to find that creative Drano.
Yeah, totes.
And I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it is actually specify a time. Because I think it's damaging if you're a creative person and you aren't putting that work in.
Yeah, I agree. I often think of my death when I think of myself on my deathbed, and I ask myself, what would your regrets be? Like, and oftentimes it's like social media. So I try not to spend as much time on social media or just do what I makes me feel like good when that's what I'll post and not feel bad but also, I know I'll regret not writing more songs, not creating more, because that is ultimately what I really enjoy doing, and more like I'm trying to collaborate more. I wasn't a big collaborator in the past, but I would like to do more of that and just be open to, because I was, when we're young, I think we're so open and we kind of don't know what we're doing all the time. So then we don't have necessarily a blueprint or any experiences to make us feel like, whoa, I don't want to do that. So, it just seems like things are flying your way, but I would like things to open up again. Like when I was younger, I'd like not to be so rigid. Yeah, but now I forget the question. I think you answered it. I know you answered it. You're going to make more time. I'll check in on you. It's going to be great.
I'm gonna literally, it's the same with working out. Like if I sit out my sneakers and my workout outfit and I lay it out the night before, it'll remind me, okay, I need to do this today. So, and I think that's, I've got a terrible memory for certain things, and I need visual reminders. So I'm gonna start sticking that up again.
Which brings me to my next joke. How do you organize a space party?
How do you organize a space party?
You plan it.
Oh boy.
Listen, I wouldn't have known that. I'm reading it. AI gave it to me. Oh my God. I didn't realize you were doing music professionally so young, and then music so young. Did you ever have another job? Like, did you ever have to take some shitty job?
Once, I think it was probably over 20 years ago. I actually did a couple of months at same industry at Outside Music.
Oh, yeah.
And they're in their sort of distribution area, and just it was fun because it was just like a bunch of musicians surrounded by all of this CD and LP stock, and we were putting together and packaging orders. And so I did that for a couple of months, and I loved it because it was a really fun environment, and you got to discover new music all the time. And during the pandemic, actually, when, everything went to hell in a handbasket, and it was like, oh, I can't do anything. I ended up doing a few months at an apparel. It's called VC Ultimate. And my friend Adriana, who is Brenly's partner, my bandmate's partner, I went and worked at her office for a few months, and I felt like I was going a bit stir crazy. And, obviously this was one of the last industries to be able to come back and able to earn a living again. So those are really the only two things I've ever done. Is I've always been on stage, and
Awesome.
yeah,
I love it.
I started sort of in folk bands when I was I was doing like traditional fiddle concerts and square dances and stuff like that, and I joined some folk bands when I was maybe 15 or something. I was always that token woman in the band, fiddle player. That seemed to be what it always was growing up. It would be all dudes and then a female fiddle player.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did that till I guess I was 19. And then I ended up joining Bruce Guthrow's band for a little while.
Oh, wow.
And it was when he got the gig in Run Rig. Like I'm sure you know this.
Oh yeah,
he became the lead singer of Run Rig, this massive band in Europe. Then I was like, oof, I don't have a gig anymore. So I packed my bag, packed my hockey bag as one does, and my fiddle, and I moved to Toronto. And then I've been up here ever since.
Wow, that's amazing.
Playing music.
So, dreams then versus dreams now. Because I remember having like my first musical dream was just like, oh my goodness, can you imagine ever having like a song recorded or a demo? And then that, became an album. And then, I couldn't imagine ever going on a tour. And like you started really, really young and had some great opportunities, it sounds like, at a young age. Like, do you remember like your first kind of dream? And then I'm curious what you still dream of doing that you haven't done yet.
In my career?
Sure. Or not. It's up to you. I'm going to leave it with you to decide. Doesn't have to be career.
I think I had always wanted to play Massey Hall in Toronto, which was sort of, for me, was like the be all end all. And we did play it. We ended up playing there, opening for the Indigo Girls many moons ago.
Amazing.
And I just remember being backstage and in the dressing room, and I was just in this crazy headspace. I was terrified and exciting all at the same time. And I was just like organizing the dressing room because I was just like everything. I went into like full on OCD mode and just was like everything needs to be in its place before I went on stage. And it was magical. I think it just, I'll never forget it. It was a beautiful night. And at that point I was like, okay, well,
retirement.
Yeah, I can quit now. Yeah, I was like, I've won my Olympic gold.
Amazing. Congratulations. What year was that?
This was, God, maybe 2002?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was quite a long time ago. I didn't retire.
No, clearly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think for me, I've always had this sort of, for me, music is a means for travel. I love being on stage. I love that reciprocation of energy. But I love exploring and getting to see new places. I think I would really love to tour Asia, which I've never done. I think that would be, that's on the bucket list of touring. I know people who've toured a bunch in Japan and in China, and I think that would be really special.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good one. I'm interested in what is working for you. You've been doing this a while. You must have ditched some things in your business of music, maybe in your personal life, that are just not useful, just not working for you. I'm most curious what is working, because it's so helpful for me too, to hear what's working for other musicians. Like, some people find managers, some people find personal assistants, some people find, I felt bad for a long time that I didn't have a manager, that I was doing it all on my own. Wasn't my wish to do it all on my own, but then I think one day I was like, you know what? I really need to embrace this. I really need to pretend, have a vision for what I want if a manager were to, a relationship were to happen. But I need to be happy if it's just me. Otherwise, this isn't going to work for me emotionally. I'm going to be miserable, and I'm doing an okay job. I'm just doing the best I can. What are some things that you find, okay, this works for me now, or you just refuse to go back in time and pick up bad habits or relationships?
Well, I mean, along the way, there are certain people that you need to remove from the dynamic if you don't feel like it's feeding and fueling and bringing good energy. Things that are working. Well, I would say I don't think we could do this without really good booking agents. That for me is 100% booking agent that knows the types of rooms that you like, knows that we've got some long-standing relationships, especially in Europe and here in Canada as well, that understands that even if something comes their way for us, they're not even going to bring it to us if they're like, no, there's no way they're going to like this or want to be in this. So being able to having that trust with your agent. We are self-managed right now, and we've gone through several managers over the years. Some of the dynamics were great. Some, were a bit more complicated. And I know one of my issues is that I've been told sometimes I can get in the weeds in the fact that I have to allow myself to step back and have somebody else take care of something 100%. And of course, I'm a worry ward, and I'm just like, why isn't X, Y, and Z done? Or when is this getting done? It's just, so that was me getting in my own way. But also sometimes it was, I was asking those questions rightfully, because balls were getting dropped or things weren't being done or us being represented in a way that we wanted the face of our band or brand to be. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yeah, this is all absolutely. And we can also veer from it. But this isn't veering. This is spot on. That's important for people to hear as well. And I've heard a lot of the same. I can relate to a lot of what you're saying, because you've had to, I think it's really wise for artists to first know what needs to be done, everything. And then maybe you can trust. And trust is really a hard thing. It's a hard thing for me because balls have been dropped so many times in my experience. And I've invested a lot of money and time and patience and tried to be, but it's at the end of the day, it's your business and your livelihood. And
in the end, you're the only one who's going to be thinking about it 24/7, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of, when there are a million tasks on the go, of sticking my head in the sand like an ostrich, and just going, nothing to see here. And for me, that's when lists come out again, when I'm like, okay, you got this checklist. And actually, Patrick Creef, do you know Patrick Creef?
No.
Musician from Montreal. He supported one of our German tours a few years back. Amazing guitar player, vocalist, songwriter. He actually co-wrote Sweet Desperado on our last album.
Nice.
And he told me something that I've taken with me. And this is coming back to lists. And he'll have a list of stuff, but if he randomly does something else that's not on there, he will write it on the list and then scratch it off. And that for me, that has changed things for me, because I'm like, okay, that might not have been on this task list, but I've gotten it done, and you actually feel a sense of accomplishment. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's like a boost of serotonin. You're like, okay, I got something else done.
Yeah.
And it sounds silly, but it actually does make a difference in your day.
I've lived by lists my entire adulthood, and probably in my adolescence started making lists, and I just don't know how I would have done anything without them. It helps me sleep at night.
Well, and me, it's actually also phone alarms, which is your listeners right now cannot see, but I'm going to show you on camera. I'll show you how many alarms are on my phone right now.
Uh-oh. Okay. Oh boy.
And I just deleted about 50 of them. And
okay,
they go off probably 8 times a day.
I thought I was bad. My husband makes fun of me, but I'm also big on simplifying. So it bothers me when I have a long list. So it makes me work harder to get it down. And the same with the phone alarms. If I have too many, it bothers me. And I'm like, this is I'm easily overwhelmed, easily triggered. So, that is impressive. And I'm assuming that's not for every day. They're set for specific days. Can you set them for days of the month, or are those weekly reminders?
Those are all individual reminders that are not weekly or daily. They just and I don't. It's like I'm a reminder hoarder. It's like I'm on an episode of Hoarders, and because I never delete them because I'm like, well, what if I need it another time?
Okay. Yeah. I feel like we do have to have a private session about this. There might be that. So like OCD is a part of your life, but it's also served you. I'm actually I started taking medication this year that is used to treat OCD that's helped me with depression. And I've noticed that I have OCD tendencies. I'm sure it's no secret to some people that know me well. That it's really helped me with some letting go of certain things. Not saying you need this drug. It's called escitalopram. Talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor before you. It's something I wish I personally, for the depression side of things, had started like 20 years ago. Yeah, love it. I'm not being paid by the escitalopram folks. But I will sell it at my merch table if they want me to. Oh my God. So what do you do other than coming on my podcast and listening to me tell you jokes? What do you do to cut the edge in your life? Like laugh. What makes you laugh? What's fun for you?
What makes me laugh? I would say my friends, definitely. I've got a really amazing group of close friends that are all hilarious. I was just going to say wickedly talented. That isn't that. What's that? Who is it who said that? When he was who's the dude in Greece?
Oh, you mean why am I staying alive? John Travolta?
Yeah. It just made me go, the wickedly talented. Remember, he was introducing Adina Menzel or Adele Dazeem or whatever the hell he said.
You have a good memory for this particular
certain stuff.
Yeah.
So friends, for just I've really this does make me laugh, but it brings me quite a lot of joy. I've finally got myself back out on my bicycle, and I just feel like if I'm having any kind of a weird day or I just want to be out, that is a really great palate cleanser for the day. And I'm not too far from the water, so it's really nice. I get to just go and breathe in the clean Toronto air, and I've been on my bike every day for the last couple of weeks, and it's just been like such a it's a bit of a release for me.
Do you have like biker gear, like the tight clothing?
I am not that person. No. I've got like jean shorts and sandals, you know,
Cool.
like.
Oh, sandals. Super safe. Super.
It's funny. I actually did have sandals on yesterday, and I went, "Oh, I don't like this." I realized, I was like, "This is not good."
Yeah.
What are you doing nowadays? You're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Are you creating new music? Are you touring much, or what's the haps?
The haps is I have been working on this big show with a band and string quartet that's coming up, and we're designing. We're taking all these visual elements and projecting. It's a very curated show, and building this thing that I hope I can sell. But it's also adaptable to different size venues, art centers, festival stages. So I've been working, with classically trained musicians and then my band, and we're just kind of getting back into things since the pandemic. Like we just played our first band show in a couple of years. We're doing a lot of duo shows, but everything feels, I feel like I'm slow to get back into the game. Doing the podcast, I am trying to get back to writing. Other than that, sometimes I'm like, am I retired? I can't afford this. Why can't I can't afford it. I was been spending a lot of time with my mom lately because she's just going through breast cancer treatment and doing really well. So
that's good to hear that she's doing better.
Yeah, and just looking after my own health and I feel like I've created more space in my life to allow me to just do what I want to do, what I'm interested in. And part of that has been making our expenses so low that even during the tough times we can get by and work from home. Well, my husband has a studio here in the house, so we make all our own music. And I'd like to do more collaborations. I'm trying to do some co-writes. It's not something I ever thought I would want to try and do more of. I always was a solo. It was kind of like my private universe. This is how I figure out my experiences. And I think some of them were so precious to me for a long time. I didn't want to bring anyone in on that. And it's always it's kind of fun too, to see where you end up on your own without outside influence. But for whatever reason now I'm also more open to that, to letting someone in and learning from other people and just kind of, yeah.
That's a big thing, is finding the ability to not be as precious, or to let go when you're creating with somebody else. It's a huge thing. You're like, you spit something out and you think it's like, that's a magical line. And then the person you're collaborating with might be like, that just doesn't work. Right.
Yeah.
Or how about this? And learning to go, to talk through it and just be like, okay, this is a collaboration, and not everything that comes out of my mouth is going to be perfect, and trusting that the other person only wants it to be better.
Have you ever you've done a lot of this, I'm assuming? A lot.
Well, I mean, I've collaborated with Brenly for almost 25 years. And only a little bit of collaboration outside of that. And it's been, I'd say the ones that I've done with friends have been amazing. Mm-hmm. But I've also gone, Branley and I did go on a songwriting, extravaganza in Nashville and in LA and in London. And had some great sessions in London. Some really not so great sessions in Nashville, where, and this is not me trying to sound weird, but being in a room with a curmudgeon-y old straight white man who doesn't think the same way as I do, and that's good to bring different personalities, but actually being in there and just all in all rude, just some I'm like, why are you doing this for a living?
Was that like
And
a pair? Somebody paired you with that person?
yeah. We had management had set up this songwriting trip, and there were a couple of sessions that I was like, I can't do this, and I almost never want to do this ever again. It was just so discouraging, and some of these guys had some big hits at one point in their career, and obviously were good at their craft, but I felt like they were like, all we want are your melodies. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear any of your thoughts. And I was like, okay, this is not my jam.
Yeah.
But have also had some really great songwriting sessions and come out. The problem is a lot of the time we never use those songs.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, even though we're in the room trying to write for us, you leave with a good song, but didn't feel like us. And that's where it gets complicated. It's like, should I be putting so much effort into this?
Yeah. I think I'll find that out too for myself. I thought it would be good to open myself up to it, even if it ended up being that the songs might be for somebody else, which I think I would be good at. Sometimes you'll write a bunch of material that you're like, I just don't see myself using this, so I'm just going to leave it. Well, I've started thinking, well, could this fit one of my friends that might want to do a co-write? So, and then because my goal is to just songwrite more, if that's your goal, then that would serve that purpose as well, to do some co-writing with it. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do co-writing specifically for my own releases yet. Because then it always has been honoring what I have to say, what I have to express, So yeah.
I think, and I fully understand that. I think there's something, for me at least, that's very different in co-writing with people or friends versus going into a cold room with somebody you've never met before and just like, here's your 3-hour window.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough over the years, because Brentley and I have been performing together and writing for so long, that I could have an idea, or she have an idea about something very personal. And we've been in each other's lives for so long that we can easily write on that together. Because there is that trust and understanding. And so that's something I feel grateful for. But I'm in the same boat as you. I'd like to branch out and do more co-writing, but less with the strict guidelines with strangers. I'd rather it be with people I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like going into it. I just tell everyone, like, if we do this, I have zero, like, I don't know if I'll ever use this, or you may not. I don't care. It's strictly a writing. Let's try and make the best song we can, but let's let go afterwards. And also remote, just sending something to somebody back and forth instead of having to be in the same room, because that I do find can be uncomfortable. I'm not always great at that when there are people in the room with me. I'm just so distracted. Again, it's not it's hard for me to get in the zone when someone's around. So having that time to myself and going back and forth, it has been actually pretty successful.
Yeah.
But you know what I want to hear more about before I want to keep you all day, because I do love chatting with you, and selfishly, I've never gotten to really have this time with you, and I want more. But I want to hear about Small in My Heart, because, well, I'm so excited that you invited me to be a part of one of the Small in My Heart performances. So tell me how that started, what it is, and how's it going?
Well, Small in My Heart is a concert series that I've developed featuring women and gender diverse artists. And I think I'd had a conversation pre-pandemic, about sort of looking at the state of the music industry and looking at rosters and lineups at festivals and clubs, and still skewed pretty heavy to male artists and male fronted bands. And I mean, this is not a new concept. I mean, there's Lilith Fair was sort of, the be all and end all getting this started. But I just thought, well, Brandley and I were taking time off the road. I want to continue performing. I feel like this is a good mission and a good objective. And I just started putting the feelers out there and talking to some artist friends and venues, and they were like, yeah, we're all over this. And, I think that they liked the concept. Again, not a new concept. And it doesn't hurt for them to have a stage full of incredibly talented artists, regardless of gender, but this is specifically catered to women and gender diverse artists. So we did a kickoff show in Halifax last year at the Stage at St. Andrews. You know that venue?
Yes, I love it. Love the Stage.
Yeah, it's very, very great. Myself and Aaron Costello and Catherine McClellan. So it was just like, I wanted, because I was doing this not in my band and doing this solo, which absolutely terrified me.
Yeah,
and hosting and singing. I wanted to surround myself by good friends and also incredible performers. So that's sort of how I've been doing this. It's selfishly, I just get to surround myself by such talent, have a really fun night. You learn something new about these people every night, and all the shows have been different, and it's in the format of in the round. So we're all on stage together, which is one of my favorite things at like a folk festival. The side stages, like the main stage shows are always great, but it's the most memorable for me are always the side stages where it's songwriters in the round and just the conversations and, what leads into the next. You never know what's going to happen. So, yeah. So the next one is August 28th with yourself and Mo Kenny and me.
Yeah.
And it's at the Marquee Tent. It's an outdoor show. And it's being put on by the DeCoste Center. And we've got 3 more in the works. September 20th in Summerside at the Harbourfront Theatre. And that's with Heather Rankin and Catherine McClellan. And awesome. The next night, the 21st, which is my mother's 75th birthday, which I feel so terrible about, but I'm going to see her 2 days later.
I'm sure she's going to be fine with that. Oh.
Thankfully, she is. That's at King's Playhouse in Georgetown, PEI, with Irish Mythen and Heather again. Then 2 days later, the 23rd, at the DeCoste Center in Pictou with Cassie and Maggie. Mm-hmm. Do you know Cassie and Maggie?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And Sally Taylor. Okay. And Sally Taylor was recommended to me by Heather Rankin. She's a good friend of hers and has recently relocated to Halifax. And she's the daughter of James Taylor and Carly Simon. So has come from some music royalty. Yeah. And has very much works in like the not-for-profit sector and hasn't been touring in many years. But Heather was like, I really think that you should have her. She's a really, really great songwriter. So yeah, I'll get to meet somebody new that night.
I'm so excited to experience this. And I love the venue we'll be playing at. I played it last summer. It's great. It's great. People, have you played it yet? Have you been in the tent? Okay. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. So, listen, before I wrap this with my AI, goodbye, maybe one more joke.
Please.
You're welcome. What did one ocean say to the other ocean?
Nothing. It just waved.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that really?
Yes. You got it. Oh, I think it took a couple jokes, but you got, you picked up on, you got in the mode and.
That's how my brain actually works, like sort of one big dad joke.
Mm-hmm. Well, That was great. Perfect. We might even cut that out and just put it at the end of the podcast. I love it. Okay, you ready for your AI goodbye? That's what I'll call this segment. AI
goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm trying to see, like how, have you used AI for anything? ChatGPT?
For writing some stuff that I've needed. And then I obviously take it and just sort of pick a few things that have made me sound a bit more articulate.
Yeah.
But I've used it a little bit.
Yeah. It can be a handy tool. Okay. Well, sometimes this turns out, sometimes it doesn't. So here's your AI goodbye, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining us, just me, on the Chat with Heart podcast today. Your stories, wisdom, and talent truly made this episode special. Congratulations again, which I didn't mention, but on all of your incredible accolades, like the Juno nominations and the Canadian Folk Music Award. You're an absolute hero to so many, including me. I added that part. I added including me. I also, on a side, when we tour in Europe, Madison Violet posters are definitely in pretty much every backstage room that we're in. And then the ones they're not, the promoters are like, oh, Madison Violet, I wish they would play here. I wish they won't. Then they say they won't play here. We can't get them. And I was like, what have you asked? And then, anyway, everyone wants you.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. I see you everywhere. Okay, back to AI goodbye.
It's actually just me going there and sneaking down there and putting those posters up.
Everywhere backstage, right? Putting them over all the others.
Yeah.
I love that AI thinks that I'm more than one person. We wish you continued happiness, health, and many more fantastic collaborations in the future. And as someone from Cape Breton who's now living in Toronto, you must find it amusing that downtown traffic in Cape Breton is a lineup at the Tim Hortons drive-thru. We hope the hustle and bustle of Toronto keeps you inspired and entertained. You're a rock star in every sense. We can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks again, Lisa. Warmest wishes, Christina and the Chat with Heart team. That's how AI likes to sign off.
That's good. I mean, you obviously prompted it well, and it's making me want to put my cape on and
Good. Good. It meant every word of it. It's love. I don't want to say goodbye to you. Welcome to the Heartbeat Hotline, 1-902-669-4769. I'm the host of A Chat with Heart podcast, Christina Martin, and I'm so excited you called. Leave me your question, a suggestion for the podcast, or a comment about this episode. Please be aware your message may be used on the podcast and social media. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and it's also fine if you want to remain anonymous. Thanks for listening. Have a great fucking day. Thanks for listening to A Chat with Heart podcast, produced by me, Christina Martin, co-produced and engineered by my husband, Dale Murray. Dale's a stellar singer-songwriter and music producer, so check out his website, dalemurray.ca. The podcast theme song, Talk About It, and I Don't Want to Say Goodbye to You were written by me and recorded by Dale. Visit my Bandcamp to find CDs, vinyl, digital music, and fun merch like custom-made puzzles and temporary tattoo packs. Become a monthly or yearly supporter of this podcast and my music endeavors on Patreon. If you're new to Patreon, it's a membership platform that helps creators get paid. I love it. Sign up as a free or paid member at patreon.com/Christina Martin. I would love it if you had time to share, rate, leave a review, and subscribe to A Chat with Heart on all the places you listen to podcasts. Wishing you, my little heartbeat listeners, a great day.